Hi, I'm Jonni Knight,
Hi, I'm Lia Gold.
and welcome to
Til Design Do Us Part,
a podcast for interior lovers,
DIY doers,
people who just have differing opinions.
or a divorce pending.
Let's see.
Welcome back to episode 3 of
Til Design Do Us
Part. So I forgot the name the other day. Now Jonni has conveniently forgot the name. Well, I hope all the viewers at home remember the name of the podcast.
Oh my gosh. Til Design Do Us Part. I mean, wow, my brain just completely farted.
Maybe this is when we get divorced, since Johnny's
I think
just
that maybe we do
forgotten
need a bit
about
of a divorce at
the
this
name
point.
of the podcast.
SARS. But yeah, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the pod. Really excited for this week's episode.
I wonder why you're very excited this week.
We might have to have a think about that. I think the main reason is because it's completely in my wheelhouse of all things that I love, fabric. That's our theme for this week's episode is upholstery, fabric, making,
Crafting.
you name it.
Love it.
And so it's all a bit of me, that. So I'm very excited. And yeah, the guest we've got coming on is big inspo to me. So
Big influence on your life, I've heard.
I think so. So I'm excited to introduce them in a little bit. But I guess, yeah, before that, a couple of things. House rules.
Housekeeping.
Go and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Til Design Do Us Part.
He remembered now. That's good.
No, whatever. Yeah, no. So go and follow us on that, and very excited for this week's episode.
Yes.
But I guess before that, we need to catch up. What have you been doing?
I know. This week has been a good week. I got an absolute steal on Marketplace this week.
Go on.
So I have been on the hunt for a new dining table for a while. My current dining table was made by us. So it was,
really?
Yeah, just 3 gorgeous pieces of wood that I was going to say glued together, but well, we did wood glue them and then attached with screws. And then it had some just black metal hairpin legs. It was from our old flat. And when we bought the house, I have to say we didn't have enough money to go splash out on a new dining table. There was nothing wrong with it. It just didn't fit the aesthetic. Anyway, I've been eyeing up this gorgeous table from Cult Furniture. Marble top, gorgeous circular bottom with like slats. Reeded, that was the word. What was that? And it's about £800,000.
£800,000?
No, 800 to £1,000. £800,000. Can you imagine?
I was like, wow, Cult have really gone up in the world, because £800,000 for a dining table.
What can I say? I have expensive taste.
I knew that, but geez Louise, that's even expensive for me. So
no, sorry. 800 to 1,000. I think it depends on the type of finish you want. Anyway, obviously me scrolling Marketplace. Someone in South London was selling theirs. Perfect.
The table you wanted?
Yeah, for 300 quid.
Steal.
And I'm convinced them, because sometimes people get funny on Marketplace when you say like, oh, I'll pay you first and can you chuck it in a taxi? What I find just hot tip?
Hot take.
Hot take.
The words are failing us today. I have no idea. Maybe we've not had enough coffee. I think
Coffee's on the way.
We get some coffees in here,
yeah,
guys.
coffees, they're coming.
Please.
Hot take, send someone a voice note so they know you're a real person.
What, on Marketplace?
Yeah. So I sent this guy a voice note and said, look, I'm not crazy. I'm going to pay you, but I don't want to drive to Brixton to pick this up. And it was like 30 quid for an XL Uber. I was like, would you roll the table into the Uber? Send me a picture when you've got it in and I'll fire you the money. And he was like, yeah, no problem. So not only did I not have to pick it up, he pops it in the XL Uber, was with me in 40 minutes. Bargain.
I mean, that's pretty good going. Did you have to tell Uber that they're going to just pick up a table?
No, we didn't. No.
No. He's like, oh, I'm here to pick up a person. Like, no, you're picking up a table.
And and then he had to ask him for help because it was so heavy. The tabletop. But apart from that, I've also been doing some design work this week for a residential property, which is very exciting.
That's good.
And yeah, what about you?
Well, I have a little project coming up for a friend who wanted to do a reupholstery project on a little footstool situation. So I actually ordered some fabrics. So I got some fabrics from Laura Ashley.
Oh, beautiful.
Very excited about this project and kind of deciding, I think I'll maybe use one for the footstool and then I might make some cushions out of the other.
Nice.
Because, you know, your boy likes to make some cushions.
You've got the sewing skills for it, so I've always been very jealous.
I think you can sew.
I did do a sewing class.
Really?
Yeah, we did like 3-4 lessons. I've always said I would love to buy a sewing machine. just don't have anywhere to put it. The house is, I've said to Ben
I'm
multiple
sure.
times, we just need a bigger house. So
I mean, there is that. Yeah, if in doubt, just buy a new house.
we should just buy a new house.
Yeah,
That is the best solution.
I think so. Well, listen, that's going to take us straight into our next section,
Ooh.
which is for our lovely game of red flag, green flag.
I was about to sing another theme tune, but we'll just
you can if you want.
No, I was
Go on.
not feeling melodical today.
The listeners want it.
No. Come back to me on it. I need to have a think.
Red flag, green flag.
Right. We're in. Red
Let's
flag,
go.
green flag. Here we go. Also, if you're new, red flag, green flag, we say a statement and we have to decide if it's a red flag, as in we do not agree, or a green flag, we do agree.
Yeah.
So, upholstering old furniture is better than buying new.
I would say green flag. Better is maybe not the right word. I love reupholstering stuff. I definitely reupholstered lots of things in our current flat, and I know that friends and family have reupholstered things before, like sofas and stuff, and it's definitely a great thing to do. But it depends. If you want to change your style, like sometimes the shape of the furniture, you can't change that.
Yeah.
So at that point, I would sell. But equally, I reupholster where possible. That would be my take. So yes, green flag. What about you?
I'm the same. I, after COVID, did an upholstery course at London Bridge.
You and all these courses, babe.
Yeah, I
I wish I had to do a course in sewing, a course in upholstery.
This is when I had some free time, clearly, in my life. But I love upholstering. I also just find the whole process of upholstering really therapeutic.
Yeah, I find it really calming as well.
Yeah, I love it. I think I could, I mean, I might not be the best upholsterer in the world, not claiming that, but there's something about pulling fabric and stapling it in, which I just find like free therapy.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
So yeah, total green flag for me.
Okay.
So we're both green flags.
Green flag and no
Still
divorce
married.
because we're married.
We're still married.
Okay, number 2, patterned fabric should be used sparingly.
Yes.
Well, that's a good answer, isn't it?
Well, it has to work. You have to have planned it.
So you want an amber flag on that one?
Yeah. Can we have amber flags?
Well, I might let it go this once.
Okay.
But
If used correctly, and you have to be confident, I
Okay.
think you...
that really surprises me. I thought that you would have been like, no, they're wrong. You should use pattern fabric. You love a pattern.
Yes, I do love pattern, but it's very easy to go wrong with pattern if you don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. So actually, I would say hire an interior designer to help you
Hit us up, guys.
solve those problems.
Yeah.
But also, like, go wild, please. Like, use all the fabrics in the world.
Yeah.
But make sure that they are paired correctly. It's about layering.
Yeah.
You need to layer correctly to make
Yeah.
sure that they all work. You know?
Yeah, I agree
Like,
with that.
I've got a gingham with a splat.
And
But it works.
you didn't use it sparingly.
No.
You went full out. Just saying.
That is true.
But it works. So
It works.
yeah, I think that it should be used sparingly. Not sparingly, but yeah. I think amber flag for me too, probably, because I would say I don't think it should be used sparingly as in the sense of don't use pattern. And also I love clashing patterns. I'm like not afraid of that. Like I really do like that. But equally, do I think you should put pattern everywhere? No. It's got to be tastefully done. It's got to be done correctly.
Yes.
So amber flag. Sorry, that's a bit of a letdown answer.
Yeah, that is.
Although we did agree again.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Soft furnishings are more important than furniture to make a home feel finished.
I'd say green flag on this. I think they are more important than furniture. If you've got a sofa with no cushions on, honey, doesn't look like a home. Looks like a waiting room.
But what if it's like the most beautiful sofa you've ever seen? What if it's the most beautiful bed head you've ever made, but you didn't have enough
What,
money
and there's
to buy
no
the
bedding on it?
cushions?
Hun.
No, you've got bedding, but no
That's
cushions.
not what it says. Soft furnishings.
That's cushions.
And throws and all of the lovely things that make a bed look gorgeous.
I would say I would invest in a gorgeous headboard or make a gorgeous headboard and sack off the cushions if I had to pick.
I mean, yeah, obviously, I'm not saying
Aha,
I'm
he's
no, I'm
converted.
not saying don't have a headboard, but what I am saying is like, do I think that soft furnishings make a home feel finished? Absolutely. So I would stand by the fact of I think without the soft furnishings, if you just had the furniture, it would feel not finished. And I think you agree deep down, as somebody who has a staging business, which you stage with soft furnishings.
I do, but that's why staging is different to interior design. And if I'm putting my interior design hat on today, which I am, I think the big pieces of furniture come first to get the overall feel, and then it's the finishing touches. This question is misconstrued in many ways, in my opinion.
I feel like you just talked yourself into a green flag there, but we'll agree to disagree. Should we move on?
Shall I get the paper out? Do you want me to get them out, the divorce papers?
Oh, I see. I thought you meant these papers. Babe, I've got the papers. It says black and white right here. Right, well, shall we move on to our next section where we introduce our lovely guest? So, I mean...
I'm eager to meet her.
Well, I'm very excited to see her. I know her very well. So this next guest is somebody who is a creative soul, I would describe her as. She has been creative her whole life and is a huge creative inspiration to me. She sews, she does crafting, she reupholsters, she paints, she does it all. And that person is my mum.
Woo!
The Canny Crafter. Please welcome the Canny Crafter to the pod. Her name is Caroline, by the way, not Canny Crafter.
No, she's always going to be Canny Crafter to me.
Yeah, she's Canny. Welcome, Mum. This is Caroline. Her Instagram name is Canny Crafter, which is why I call her that.
To be fair, I was only like a few weeks ago, I was like, I actually don't know what your mum's name is. I just call her Canny.
Yeah.
Canny Crafter.
Well, everyone, you used to get called Canny, didn't you?
I did. A friend I grew up with couldn't say Caroline. She was a lot younger than me, and so she called me Canny.
And
that's where it came from.
And she loves to craft, so Canny Crafter.
Yes.
It's got a ring to it.
It's got a ring to it. Well, welcome to the pod, Mum. Thanks so much for coming.
No,
thanks for joining us.
Thank you for asking me.
You're welcome. So I guess we want to start because people may want to know, why is your mum here? And what you're a creative soul, I would say. As a person, you ooze creativity. Where do your creative roots come from?
Well, I suppose it's how I grew up. My father was very creative. He was a very creative person. Their creativity probably came from necessity, because in those days there was a lot of make, do and mend, and so they did everything themselves. But my dad was particularly creative in various different ways. As well as being a linguist, he did a lot with his hands. He made woodwork, he did all sorts of things. But he was also very musical. Yeah. He sang and he played an instrument. So he was definitely very creative. So I grew up in a very creative home, I would say.
Yeah. And so what was your job? What did you do? Because Mum's a retired diva now. She's living the best life.
No, she is the Canny Crafter. She's full-time.
Influencer,
How dare you, Jonni?
Full-time influencer.
Making reels.
Making reels.
It's
on
a
Instagram.
full-time job.
Trust me, it is.
I looked for a job that would keep me creative, I suppose. So I was a home economics teacher. So I did food and textiles.
Secondary schools.
Secondary school. And then eventually I finished up in my career. I taught special needs in primary school.
Nice.
So I changed direction, but still kept it creative, really.
And so I guess with creativity, would you say, I mean, I think we both know the answer to this, but would you say it's a decision or it's just a part of who you are? Like, do you make a conscious decision to be creative, or it's just who you are as a person?
I think it comes from within. Anybody can be creative. It's how you let that come out. And you've got to be able to be prepared to try things, and things may work and things may not work. So it's how much you allow that side of you to develop. If you're quite restricted in how you want to go down a path, you might not be as creative. You've got to think it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, it might go right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's a thing I have on my Instagram actually that says, there is no right and no wrong. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Anybody can be creative.
Yeah.
I think there is an element of your background, as in if you're allowed to be creative in your environment, then you're obviously going to experiment more.
Yeah.
But even when I was teaching, I used to bring creative ways into the classroom so that visual learners and people who like to be hands-on with things had a chance to learn in that way, because we all learn in different ways.
Yes.
We were talking about that, weren't we, the other day? We were just saying about
how
people learn in different ways, And
much more of a visual person. And,
Yes.
and I would have loved that, to see things and touch them is so different to looking online. And I think we'll touch on it later. It's like, for me, fabric, I can't shop for fabric online.
Yeah.
I don't know what does that feel like? What does that look like?
Exactly. I'm a bit like that.
Yeah.
But then you get other people who love shopping online for fabric and
I
find
think
it super easy.
I think it's more of an ease thing now, isn't it? I don't think it's necessarily a choice. I think
There's less places you can actually go out there and find it in a shop.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I made all my own clothes, and you had shops in every town where you could, or markets, where you could go and buy fabric and make anything. I made bedding, I made curtains, I made everything.
Yeah.
But those places are becoming fewer and far between, so it becomes more difficult.
Yeah. Just make people, it's easier to just buy a set of curtains online, essentially,
Exactly.
than it is to make a set of curtains, maybe.
Exactly.
Which is
I
sad in
encountered that.
itself.
I encountered that recently when I was redoing the bedroom, because I wanted to make curtains, but being able to find the fabric to make the curtains was difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you end up buying because you can't find what you want.
So I guess, it leads me on to this, because I think I know the answer, but I'm intrigued to see what your take on it is. But what was the first project that you ever made yourself that felt quite serious? It was a big deal to make it.
To make something, I suppose my wedding dress and the bridesmaids' dresses.
You made your own wedding dress?
I made my own wedding dress.
That's incredible.
She made wedding dress, she made bridesmaids' dresses.
Yeah, well, I thought it would be expected of me as a textiles teacher, I think.
She felt the pressure.
I can relate on this one. When I was a baker, everyone thought I was going to make my own wedding cake. And I was like, absolutely not. So hats off to you for making your own wedding dress.
I think my mum encouraged me to. I don't know why, but she did. And my auntie was very good. She was very creative. I took a lot of inspiration from her. My mum was a very good cook and made our clothes when we were little because she had to. But she didn't enjoy that side of things, whereas my auntie, she was a big sewer. And so I took a lot of inspiration from her, and she really helped give me the confidence to think I could do it.
Yeah, because I think that's a lot of it, isn't it? It's the confidence. Yeah. I mean, we speak about it quite often. It's like what you were just saying before, just give it a go. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You got to try again.
At one time when I was working, I would go to the market on a Thursday lunchtime in between lessons and buy a piece of fabric and be wearing it on a Saturday night. So making clothes
out in the town in a Saturday best.
Yeah, love that.
Making clothes was easy. So just making a wedding dress seemed like the next step on. It's just a dress, isn't it?
Very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people could say they made their wedding dress and their bridesmaids' dresses.
Yeah. And I machine embroidered the bodice on that. I've just remembered.
It's incredible. It's my one thing in life I'd love to do is learn how to make clothes.
Learn how to make clothes. Well, it's easy, really. If you can follow instructions for making furniture, you can follow instructions for making clothes.
There we go. Maybe 2026, Leah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's your vibe.
I'll have some lessons with Canny Crafter.
I was going to say Canny Crafter will give you some lessons.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do some
sewing tutorials.
sewing tutorials.
Yes.
I've tried to demystify the sewing machine, so
Yeah.
I'll have to try and demystify making clothes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love
well,
that.
I guess trying to link the world of fabrics and the world of interiors. I mean, personally, from my perspective of growing up, you were always rearranging rooms, always repainting, seeing a vision, repurposing furniture, or, recovering furniture, making cushion covers, curtains, all of those things. So I guess, how do you believe that fabric can transform a room?
Oh, yes, definitely. And I think it goes through phases, obviously, and fashions, which isn't a good thing in some ways, but fabric can soften a room acoustically, which makes a huge difference. And often if you go to restaurants now and places where you want to chat, it's just so bare and echoey, you can't hear yourself think. Whereas fabrics bring in a homeliness and a comfort to the space that makes it feel a more pleasant space to be.
Yeah. And a soundproofing as well, really.
Acoustically.
It absorbs the sound, doesn't it? And I think that
exactly.
that's, I often find it just more than anything else just makes it feel homely. I always think a pair of curtains or a rug or, a throw, just instantly makes an environment feel homely and lived in.
Home is where you need to recharge, and so you want to feel comfort, and fabric brings comfort.
Yeah, massively. And I guess we touched on it a bit before, but it is hard to find fabrics, but there are places, you know, especially in London where we're based, you know, there's markets, there's fabric shops.
There's an amazing fabric shop near me, which is like Aladdin's cave of fabrics.
I need to come to your house.
Yes.
And also, I mean, I used to live in Shepherd's Bush, and Goldhawk Road is literally full of fabric shops, like wall-to-wall fabric shops, and that is amazing when you're trying to do a project or whatever. But something I learned the hard way, I think you told me about this, and I just maybe didn't listen. Soz mum. There's a difference when you're upholstering something. You need to use the right fabric.
Yes.
And got to use an upholstery fabric, because if not, it's so thin that it'll just wear through instantly and tear. So it's all about, I think that's where it comes into choosing, you know, being tactile and going to...
It should have the safety standards as well if you're upholstering. So it needs to be fireproof if you're putting it on furniture.
I don't know if we've crossed that bridge when we've been recovering, like, it'll do, shove it on there.
And I guess when you mention, obviously, fabrics ripping and things as well, like, when is something worth fixing as opposed to throwing it out and starting again? Is there, or can you get creative and make that pair of curtains into something else? Has that ever been an instance?
I think always there's room for adapting things. I think furniture-wise, recovering furniture, you're getting a much better quality base. And you're improving, say, the foam or whatever with the up-to-date standards, and then covering it with the fabric. You're giving it a second life. But the base that you're working on is bound to be better quality than the more modern ones, because they're mass-produced. So if you can be more sustainable in that way, and we've kept the same sofa for 25 years and we've had it recovered twice. Yeah. So, you know.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to getting it recovered professionally is cheaper than buying a brand new sofa.
Yes.
Wow.
But the people who do it are becoming few and far between. So again, you're losing those skills.
Yeah, we need to support those businesses.
Yeah, support those businesses, and people should be trying to make stuff when they can. And, you know, fixing, I mean, you touched on it before, I think it's maybe a generational thing, but there's such a world of, if you've got a rip in a trouser or like you've got a hole in something, just bin it. Get a new one, just bin it.
Yeah.
We were taught to mend. We were taught to sew. A lot of people aren't taught. When I was teaching, home economics became something that disappeared in the curriculum. And now we're saying, why don't people know how to cook? Why don't they know where their food comes from? Why don't they know how to sew and mend things? Why are we throwing things away? And a lot of it has come from going back to those basic skills that they haven't been taught. I can remember being taught how to use a sewing machine at home, but also then teaching lots of children to use a sewing machine at school. But the schools that do that now maybe are not as...
we were taught textiles at school, were you?
I wasn't, and I always think it's funny when I speak to people and I say, and I think most people our age would say, I wish I knew how to sew. Like, I actually find it really rare when people say, like, oh, I would never want to do that. Like, everybody wants to take up their trousers. Everyone wants to fix that hole. And now you pay, as you said, because there are not many around, you pay quite a premium to have that done, when I actually really wish I could do it myself.
We're just both very lucky that we have a seamstress.
Yes, who has turned up your trousers, Leah?
Yeah.
You have, and I am forever grateful for that.
Yeah, and I have to do things properly, which exasperates Jonni, because I learnt a specific way of doing things, and I like to do it properly. And Jonni sometimes wants to do it quickly, which isn't always the same. But I've always encouraged him, as you can see with some of the videos, to have a go. Yeah. To have a go. Even when he was young, though, you had ideas about clothing, didn't you, from a young age?
I've always been creative with stuff. Now I'd go to shopping and be like, oh, I wish they, as a kid, can you imagine going into a clothes shop and being like, I wish they had this, and Mum's like, let's go make it. Yeah. I mean, it was great. It was for somebody like me who wanted things that were a bit outside the box. And I feel like we didn't grow up in the dark ages, but I mean, like, you know, in the 90s when we were growing up, like, it was definitely like more limited, and like boys would wear this and that and whatever. And as somebody who is a closeted camp little boy who liked to wear tutus and frilly dresses and whatever, you know, like it was quite refreshing having somebody who would be like, okay, we'll take this in, or we'll make this look jazzier, and we'll put this sparkly bit on.
Or you wanted to rip your jeans and put fabric behind the rips and things.
I mean, see a picture of that.
Some of the choices were questionable, but you never ever
you never
said no. You always encouraged me to do it,
and that came from my father, who, when I wanted to make something, never said no.
Yeah.
So I would go into the garage with him and say, can we make this for my Cindy doll? And we would make it, some piece of furniture. And he would show me how to use the plane and the saw, and we would make it. And he was definitely a Mr. Fix-It. He would fix anything and everything. Yeah. I used to bring people's dolls to our house for my dad to fix, because Mr. Fix-It could fix anything.
Yeah. It's very, very cool.
That's where it comes from. It comes down.
Yeah, I think so, and definitely a huge influence for me. I guess that sort of leads me on to my next bit, which is talking about my influence words. Your creativity has definitely influenced me. And I always wonder if you knew that when we were growing up, if you knew that you could see that I was creative and you honed in on that, or you just, it happened naturally.
I could see you were creative because you started very young. You were dancing at 3 of your own decision, making up dance routines and putting together outfits. So dancing was always there. And that didn't come from me, I don't think. But you took that and ran with it. But you wanted to do hair. You wanted to... Yeah, he was going
hairdresser
to be
as well.
Yes, he was going to be a hairdresser as well.
Save you a lot of money now, to be fair, if you knew how to do that.
Exactly, yeah.
But creativity comes out in different ways. So whatever he wanted to try, when you went into all the dance competitions, and we used to make all your outfits, didn't we?
Mum was making all the costumes and everything for me.
Yeah.
And I think this comes back to what we were just chatting about. So my mum also, I was a dancer as well at one point.
The dancing diva.
Not quite as good as you though. But she... I guess that generation, you all knew how to sew. My mum made all my dancing costumes, and Halloween as well was the other one. Whereas now we all go on Amazon, you know, and you search and you buy a rubbish outfit. But my mum and my auntie used to sit and make the most amazing Halloween costumes. And I'm sure you were probably the same. And it's a shame, I think, now you kind of don't see that at all anymore.
No, I think it's the world is definitely changing, but that's why, you know, I mean, obviously, my mum is on Instagram, as I said, and she's got more followers than Lia and I.
Yeah,
so she's more of an influencer than we are.
At the moment.
But I find that it's really interesting. Like, I always encourage mum to do videos on tutorials and stuff, because I really do believe that people want it. Like you're saying, people want to know how to thread a sewing machine. Yeah. You know, I've got so many friends who wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
But it's the first step, you know, and putting, you know, then actually just sewing a straight line. Like, it's a small thing, but it's something that's...
And I think people think it's beyond them. And I keep saying, you can drive a car. So why can't you drive a sewing machine? It's much easier. Yeah. People think it's more complicated than it is.
Yeah.
And we've had this discussion, haven't we?
Yeah. But the videos have been useful, been very good.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Informative, much to mum's disgust. I spring ideas on my mum at the 11th hour. I'm like, oh, I'm just about to leave. Could we just sew these curtains? She's like, now? And I'm like, yes.
I like a bit of preparation time, I have to say. But I never say no.
No, you do always give it a go.
Yeah, I might have
she moans about it, but she does do it.
I might have a nervous breakdown later, but
nothing a gin and tonic won't sort out, will it?
But yeah, I like to encourage people to sew. If you've got a sewing machine, there's so much you can do with it. Yeah. So
I guess that leads on to the next question of: do you think that people should trust their creative instinct?
Well, yes. I trust mine. Sometimes I used to think people won't be interested in what I'm doing, but that's been proven wrong, clearly. Mm-hmm. But if I can encourage someone to get the same amount of joy from doing what I'm doing, then that's what I'm after, really. It's not for the kudos, it's more for the this is what's making me happy, and it might make you happy. Have a go, and there's no right or wrong, and if it doesn't go right, you have a go again. I can quite happily sew something and then unpick it and sew it again, like the next person. So,
I think it's, well, I mean, talking about mistakes, I mean, I've definitely made plenty of those. Do you have any like standout moments of fabric mistakes or sewing mishaps that you've had?
Well, pattern matching is always tricky. If you're making curtains particularly, matching up your patterns on the curtains and the seam, that's always a tricky one. And measuring for a Roman blind is always tricky because it's, measure twice, cut once. I have had an issue once where I cut it too short. But yes.
Top tip.
Top tip, when you're making a Roman blind.
Yes, measure twice, cut once. Or add a frill.
That's a...
There you go. And the creativity comes out.
There you see,
there you go.
Just without you even noticing, there's the creativity.
Yes, or, cut it and add a band of a different colour.
Well, you got to...
It's always meant to be there.
You've got to think on the spot with these
Think
things.
on the spot, If your fabric isn't quite wide enough, add a band of a different colour at the side.
Yeah. And I guess, just going back to like design and interiors and stuff, because I know, for example, my parents did a big renovation project at your house 10, 15 years ago when you put the extension on the back of the house.
All right, yes.
Is that about right, timeline-wise?
20 years ago.
Getting old.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only 20 years old, so I must have been 0 at the time.
Sorry.
Just born.
Sorry.
Fresh out, were you?
Whoa! But I guess when you were doing projects like that, is that something that you take into consideration before even starting it, being like, okay, so I'll make this and I'll do that and because I know, like, for example, similar to what we do, like Mum upcycled the dresser and a sideboard, and you always do things like that rather than getting rid. But like, are those things that you take into consideration before you've even begun the process of?
I think your money is finite, isn't it? So your money goes into the stuff you can't do yourself, in our case the building, and then you furnish it according to what you can do. But I was always one for looking for sales or second hand or renovations, or we've upcycled the chairs in that room you're talking about, which were actually my husband's parents' chairs. Wow. So one was their engagement present, one was their wedding present, and so they've come in, and we've had those recovered twice.
Like an engagement present. Here's a chair.
I kind of love it. Or
I mean, it's a perfect present for us.
Or like cutlery. My mum still has the cutlery set that she got when she got married.
I think that's the generation thing. The difference between our generation and your generation is we did tend to keep the same thing.
Yeah.
They definitely kept the same thing because they'd lived through the war where there wasn't furniture. Furniture was rationed. So the utility furniture. So there was no fabric.
Yeah.
My mum didn't get married in a white dress because there was no fabric. Yeah. So you forget. And that's changed to your generation where you can get anything. So you can see why you have different outlook maybe to us.
Yeah. Although I definitely think that we as people try desperately to hold on to those, like especially because of our love of antiques and old furniture and stuff. Like I think I've told you about it before. Like when we were clearing out Grandma and Granddad's house and we were getting rid of a lot of the furniture, I struggled with that because I was like, so many memories in this furniture and so many stories.
Yes. Well, a classic example is the grandfather clock, which I would never have bought a grandfather clock, but it fits perfectly in our house because it was my dad's and it belonged to his family, and it reminds me of my dad and the stories he told of being a boy.
Yeah.
That may resonate with you because Grandad, but by the next generation, if you don't, then they need to make a story for somebody else, don't they? So
that emotional connection to items,
and
isn't
that's what makes a house a home.
Yeah,
not just going out and buying what everybody else has got and having the same box with the same vase and the same painting that you can get at whatever cheap shop. It's knowing that on that table is something that means something to you.
Yeah.
As a designer, that's difficult if you're working with a client because you've got to then put yourself in that difficult. They're asking for design ideas,
Yeah.
but they're wanting it to fit them. So
I
that
often find as well that comes from things like making things. You know, when you're making things bespoke. I mean, our house, I've made artwork, I've made bookcases, I've made sideboard. You know, but they also tell stories in their own way, and hopefully wherever they end up, whether it's with us or go sold to somebody else, that has a story that it was
Yeah.
made by me. You know, and
Yes.
just by making something, you're making a story for it.
yes,
And I think
yes.
that's also something that's quite.
And I
Yeah.
think it's coming round full circle, because the things that maybe previously were not valued as much, like the 50s mid-century furniture, there was a phase where that was really out, and now it's really back. So you go round in circles, don't you? And
Yeah.
I've been looking for a new sideboard on Facebook Marketplace because I fancied a change. And I've had ours for 25 years, and it's had various different guises, and I will sell that on Facebook Marketplace and buy a new one. But
Yeah.
looking at mahogany and oak and really beautiful sideboards on Facebook Marketplace that are not worth very much at the moment because they're not in fashion.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was chatting to my dad about this the other day, and I was showing him a mood board I'd created for somebody, and it had a G-plan sideboard, and he was like, why are you putting that in there? That's ancient. Like, that was like big in my day. Like, why are you putting that in a mood
Yeah.
board now? And it's funny how now
Become
these things have
trends
all
come back round,
all
doesn't
come
it?
back.
The G-plan furniture from my mum's went to the sale room, didn't
I
it?
remember Dad's parents had a whole mid-century set in their
Yes.
living room
Yes, they did.
with the pink
'Cause they all got
velvet sofa with frills on the bottom. You would have
Oh,
loved
I would
that.
have. I know exactly what it looks like in my head now.
Fringing all on
Yes.
the arms. I
My
remember
nonna
that.
had the exact same in an avocado green.
Yeah. Avocado. Grandma had an
This is
avocado
the
suite.
person who said, I want these cushions, but I want them with fringing in.
Listen, I was ahead of the times. This was like 4 years ago when fringe cushions weren't a thing, and I bought a cushion cover and I got some fringing, and we got some fringing.
We got some fringing.
Johnny, don't claim work
I
your
know.
mother has
I
done.
was about to say that Mum made them. I didn't do it. Mum did it, but I suggested.
I think that comes from, if I wanted something, I had to find a way to make it.
Yeah.
And so if you're the same, you've picked that up straight away. I would like it to look like that. I can't afford that. How can we make that?
Well, these cushions were in Soho Home for like £200.
Yeah,
and I was like,
we're not
honey,
paying that.
no. And I paid £10 for the cushion covers from H&M Home, and then the fringing was like £5 or something.
Yeah.
And then we literally just put
From
it together.
an upholstery shop offcuts.
There you go. See,
Amazing.
all of the creative hacks from the Canny.
Exactly.
Well, Mum, it's been so lovely to have you with us. And before you go, we do this with all of our guests.
Right.
We've got a quick fire round of questions for you, and we
Right.
want your answers, your
Okay.
hot takes.
Okay.
We'd love it.
So, what's your favourite room in the home?
Oh, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. I suppose our kitchen family garden room, probably. Yeah.
Not what I thought you were going to say.
I don't say the office because that's where I live.
Yeah, that's her little craft room. Her craft room.
I didn't like to say that. That's very
But the kitchen,
small.
is that what you said?
Well, I do like to be in the kitchen. Yeah, I do.
You like to cook.
I do like to cook. Yeah.
Nice.
And then, what's your favourite colour to decorate with?
Oh, now that is a tricky one actually. I do like green.
I was going to say you're in a green phase
I
at the
am
moment.
in the green phase at the moment. But having said that, the garden room that we did last year is mustard and navy. So who knows? Yeah.
But you're not afraid of colour.
I'm not afraid of colour. I have made colour mistakes in the past and painted a wall and thought, no, that's a bit dentist waiting room. That's got to go.
But it's okay to make mistakes.
It's okay to
And we
make
can
mistakes.
change them.
There's no right or wrong answer,
No
as you
right or
said.
wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I've gone through the greige and
Yeah.
out the other side.
Great. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah. Phew.
Nice.
But I'm embracing colour.
Nice. What's your favourite place to gain inspiration?
Well, I suppose I'm a bit Pinterest-ish. I do like to have a look out on Pinterest. I do go on Instagram, I have to say, and look at what's out there. But sometimes something random can spark something. When you're travelling or something, you bring something home in the back of your mind and turn it into something else.
Yeah.
So, yes. But
Nice.
I would go to a gallery or something and look at something and be inspired by it.
Yeah.
I
I
keep
guess when you've got that creative mindset, you can see something from nothing, essentially.
Yes, and sometimes you see somebody painting something and you think, oh, I'd love to make that in fabric. Or make something like that in fabric. So yes, you're taking inspiration and firing in a different direction. Yeah.
Nice.
And what is your favourite season at home?
Oh, difficult. I do like spring, I have to say. I do like spring.
Springer.
I love getting tulips and daffodils and arranging them in the window, and a bit of bright sunshine after the winter.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I would never have said that for you. I would never have
You would-
predicted.
I do like summer from the point of view of being outside, but
I wouldn't have said that either.
Do you know your mother?
I don't think I do.
What would you have said then?
I thought you love Christmas. You love decorating the house for Christmas.
Oh, I do, yes. But I was
Every
thinking
season is Canny's
just love them
favourite.
all.
well, I do decorate for different seasons.
No, she decorates
I
for
have-
autumn. She
I do
decorates
have-
for
I have a-
Easter.
I have a box of Easter. I do decorate for Auntie's Right.
Yeah, so it's all right though. If you want spring,
She's
summer,
gone
that's
spring.
fine.
She's gone spring.
I've gone spring, yeah. I do like tulips and daffodils. It's just
I
that
like
bit that bit of colour after the dreariness of January, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, January that goes on for about 10 years. God. And then, yeah, the final question for you is, what's your favourite piece that you own? That could be furniture, could be fabric,
Sewing
cushions. So,
Got to be my sewing machine. I couldn't live without my sewing machine. I now sew on paper, but I'm still using my sewing machine. I do still quilt, but I make quilts as well, but I do sew on paper. But I would use my sewing machine. I do use it every day.
there you go, you see.
That's a much loved
Is
piece.
that a piece of furniture?
Well, it doesn't have to be a piece of
Yeah,
furniture. It's
just
your
be
favourite
anything.
piece in the home. And it is a piece that you use every day.
Yeah, and I do have two. One upstairs and one down.
Just in case you can't be
Just
bothered to
whatever
go
mood you're
downstairs.
feeling in, if it's an upstairs or downstairs do.
No, it's more
Upstairs,
about
downstairs.
sewing on fabric, sewing on paper. Jonni knows my thoughts
Yeah,
about.
she doesn't like sewing on paper because it blunts your needle. So you need a separate machine to sew on
You
paper
don't
with.
need one.
What do you
but
mean sew on paper?
That's what Mum does. She sews on paper, like so. She does a lot of crafting and scrapbooking, and so she likes to add texture onto pages with sewing.
Oh.
So she sews on the paper, but it blunts your needle,
Right.
so you can't use that needle to sew with fabric.
And that's why you've got two machines.
Well, yes, I have a more expensive machine for sewing on fabric because that's
makes sense.
more important. You can sew up with any machine. To
Yeah.
be fair.
Absolutely.
Just need to change the needle. Johnny's got a sewing machine.
Is that the
now.
next lesson, changing the needle?
Yeah, maybe. Although my sewing machine wasn't working for ages. Like, why? Mum's like, your needle's in the wrong way. I was like, fantastic.
Oh.
Brilliant. Really good.
Easy.
Easy fix.
But yeah, these are all the things that people wish they
Consult
knew,
the
you know?
Canny and there you
Consult
are.
the Canny, yeah, exactly.
Is that a service that you offer for our listeners?
Consult the Canny, yeah, I'll take a 10% fee, Mum, on that. Just Well, listen, thank you so much for coming to join us, Mum. It's been so nice to chat. I mean, I obviously know about all your creativity, but nice for Leah to get to hear and all our
Yes.
lovely listeners at home to get to
Okay.
hear your creative inspo.
And I'm sure you've just inspired a new generation of people to learn how to sew. You've definitely inspired me how to sew again. So,
Oh, well, that's good. That's really good.
She's maybe going to take her own trousers up next time.
no, I don't have a machine, guys. So
Yeah.
I'll still need to
You can
send
get
them to
machines
you.
on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, she's got me out. She's outing you. She's outing you.
Just find one.
Brilliant. All right. Thanks, Mum.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God, that was so good. I'm so glad that we managed to get Mum on the pod. She was so nervous, bless her. But she
I thought you were
smashed
going to
it.
say her diary was so busy that she.
I mean, listen, her diary is busy. She's
could
an
not make it.
influencer.
She is. She, as she said, she's got more followers than us. Thanks, Canny.
Thanks, Canny.
But no, it's such a wonderful insight and so many good points. I hope she's truly inspired so many people to get sewing.
Yeah, listen at home, get sewing, get your machines out, honey,
Yes.
and get on Facebook Marketplace and get your machine. You got no excuses now, Leah.
I know I've really riddled myself out of my trousers upholsterer
I was gonna
there.
say, if you can find yourself a new dining table, you can find yourself a sewing machine.
Fine.
Great. Well, listen, that's going to take us on to our next section, which is design or divorce. Leah, hit it.
Doodaloo, doodaloo, design or divorce.
Boom. I mean, it's catchy. at this point, like I'm 3 eps in, and I'm
Vibing.
like, I'm vibing.
Yeah, I'm getting the tone as well, so it's good
Yeah, yeah,
practice.
So-
Who do we have this week to help?
Yeah, so this
please?
is a section for new listeners if you've not heard already. This is a section where we get design dilemmas sent in to us, and we have to say whether we think, is it design or divorce? Like, what's our hot take?
Yes.
So problem number 1 is from Fatima in Leicester, and she says, I've started sewing my own cushions
Well done, Fatima.
and soft furnishings for our home, and I love them. But I am worried they look a bit homemade rather than polished. How do you tell the difference between a handmade home and something that just looks a bit amateur?
First of all, I think it's lovely that they look homemade. Like, Fatima, you made those. Be proud of those. And if they look homemade, is it maybe just because you feel they don't look super professional? And
Yeah.
also, I feel like sewing is one of these things that you will just gradually get better and better and better and better.
And also, I think like you might notice the mistakes, but I
Someone
actually
else,
doubt
yeah.
that people are going to become like, oh, have you seen those cushions?
No one's coming in and
Oh,
looking
look,
at the lines.
seam over here, it's all wobbly. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, nobody's checking in on that.
No.
So I think props to you for making it. I think, you've given it a go. And like Mum said on the pod before, there's no right or wrong.
No.
You just got to give these things a shot. And I think that's a big part of it, is
Yeah.
just having the balls and the gusto to give it a go.
She's done the hardest part by giving it a go. And as you said, yeah, I think she's the only one who notices if there's any sort of maybe stitch out or something that she feels makes them look homemade. But I also think it's really nice that that she should have the connection to them. Like, she's put so much
Yeah.
time and effort into them and made them. But I guess if she wants them to look more polished,
Yeah.
as you guys mentioned, like maybe adding a trim to hide a stitch line if that's what she's
That's a good
worried
idea.
about, maybe looks not professional.
And also practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Just give it a go. Like, just keep having a go. Make cushions, give them as gifts to people. That's something I used to do when I was practicing. It's like I'd sew the cushions and I'd be like,
Kudos to the first
here's,
person.
Here's a cushion I made, and they're like, thanks. Sorry to all the cushions that I gifted to people. Have you had one yet?
No.
Right, well, I've got a really shabby cushion coming your way,
No,
honey.
this should be the most perfect cushion ever at this point, please.
Absolutely. So hopefully it's not a divorce for you. I think just keep giving it a go.
Yeah.
And just keep smashing it, Fatima.
I think that's a marriage made in heaven, Fatima.
Yep, defo. Okay, problem number 2 is from Ella in Brighton.
Hello, Ella.
I keep falling in love with bold fabrics and patterns, but once they're actually in the room, I panic and want to tone everything down. How do you commit to fabric choices without losing your nerve halfway through? This is a good one. Because, you've got to stand strong on your decisions, I think. Sometimes you have to stand by them. You can't back out at the last minute.
Yeah. I think I would be nice to see her room.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can ask her to follow up with a
Yeah.
picture. I think,
Ella, send us a pic.
has she designed the room and then gone, oh, I love that fabric, and the fabric just doesn't marry with the rest of the room, when actually they should have been a considered part of the design at the start. So I would like to understand her thought process of how she designed the room first, because you can pick a bold fabric, but the
Yeah.
rest of the room maybe
It's gotta
is
go with
pared
everything
back.
else. Yeah, it's not gotta be the second
fabric
thoughts.
is the star of the show, or downsize it. The fabric is a cushion rather than curtains, or
something that's not as in your face. So yes, it
Exactly.
could be divorce, Ella. Hate to break it to you, it could be divorce. But no, I think, if you want to send us in the picture, we'll absolutely take a look and let you know our thoughts on it. But I think that, just take into consideration the room. Is it overpowering the room? Is it overpowering the space? And just maybe tone it down if it's too much for the room. But you've made the choice, stand by it. I
Yeah.
just think commit to it now.
You love
Make-
the fabric, so
You
in
love the
situ,
fabric.
you'll still love it too.
Yeah, defo. All right, well, that was design or divorce. So just want to say thank you so much for listening to another episode of Til Design Do Us Part, and a huge thank you to my mum. Big
Yes.
up Canny Crafter,
Yeah.
absolute legend. It was so nice to chat to her. And follow her on socials if you want any sewing tips or anything. She's at Canny Crafter, Canny Crafter. You're all right over there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just about to say thank you so much if you've joined us for all 3 episodes
Yeah.
so far. And I was going to say if you have any feedback, but actually, I kind of don't care what your feedback is.
But if you do have
if
design
you do have
dilemmas-
any design dilemmas,
I like
then
the segue.
please follow us on socials at Til Design Do Us Part on TikTok and Instagram,
Send us them.
your design dilemmas. And if they are ones where you think an image would be helpful, then please send us an image
Yeah.
of the room as well, because
We
it would
would
really help
Love
us
that.
understand.
Sometimes an image is actually really helpful.
It is. We can kind of see into your head a little bit more. So yeah, until next week.
Till design,
do us part. Bye.
Bye.